Welcome to Notre World Technologies. My name is Edu Amankwa Isaac, and I will be your tutor for the app development class. Before we get started, I want us to see how the interface and then how to open your Visual Studio on your computer, no matter where your installation directories are. So let's get started. Let's go to the desktop and then start doing that right now. So on your desktop, go to Start. Now, if you are using Windows 10, you can locate your Start on the left hand lower corner of your screen. Now click on that Start icon there. Now go to All Programs and then search for Microsoft Visual Studio. Now you can see that we have Microsoft Visual Studio. This is not what we are talking about. And then we have the Microsoft Visual Studio. Now you can click on the VS Express for desktop. Now when you click on that, you are good to go. It will automatically open the file or the setup for you, or the executable file, which is your software for you. Now as you can see, the program have started successfully. Now let's see how the interface of the program looks like. It looks more complicated because it includes a lot of options and then other stuffs here, but don't worry. On your left hand side of the software, now you can see that we have Express 2012 for Windows desktop, and then we have Start, New Project, Open Project, Connect to Team Foundation Server, and then we have Recent. When we come here, we have Get Started, and then we have Latest News. You can go there for it works online when you want to get more about these topics. So let's go ahead and then create a new project. So we will be doing that by clicking on the new project. It will pop up this dialog for you. Actually, you won't get this Dev Express v14.2 template gallery. You won't get it because it is a third-party plugin I have installed on my machine. But you will get a Windows Form application. But before we get started with our first application development, let's see on the left side of the project. You can see that we have installed. Under installed, we have templates. Under templates, we have Visual Basic. Under Visual Basic, we have Windows. Now the Windows comes along with Windows Form application, WPF application, console application, class library, and then empty project. All these things are languages you need to work along with. And then we have the test, we have the WCF, and then we have the C#, Visual C#. It is also one of the languages in Visual Studio. And then we have the C++. It normally it works with a console application. So for our portion, we will be working on most will be the Visual Basic. So click on the Visual Basic and then select Windows Form application. Now you can see that we have a name here which will show the name of your application. So I want to rename my application to Introduction to Hello World, right? And then we have the location. That will be where your saved documents are going to be, or your saved projects are going to be. That is your directories. Don't forget about it. So you can relocate your directories by clicking the browse button here, and it will bring this dialog up. So you can locate to where you want to save your project you are working on. So I would like to save it to my documents, and then I will be creating a new folder, and then I will be calling the folder lesson 1, right? So inside the lesson 1, I'll just open it up, and then the folder is lesson 1, right? Then I select the folder. Now I can click on OK. The moment I click on OK, it will first create the project layout for me. That is the project interface, the project design for me. Most of the times, if your machine is not that much fast, it will take a while before it loads. It will take a longer period before it just comes to this particular screen. Now, whoa, come on. This is so huge for us to know what is going on here. So this is your form. Actually, you can see it is resizable. You can resize it. You can do anything you want to do with it. You can resize it, and then it will work. And then we have the file, and the file, we have a lot of options here, and then we will be going through these options one by one later as we are working on. So we have the edit, view, project, build, debug, theme, format, tools, text, window, and then the help, right? So let's see how to get going with the toolbox. We have, this is a data source, and then this is a toolbox. So we are going to use the toolbox to start the programming. All the things you need to get before you can start doing something, they are all in the toolbox. All the necessary things you need to get started with your programming, they are all here. As you can see, we have a button, checkbox, checklist box, color dialog, combo box, context menu strip, data grid view, data set, date time picker, directory entry, and then we have the directory searcher, domain up down, error provider, event log, file system watcher, etc. There are many, and then I can't talk about all of them now. But as time goes on, we will get to know how all these things works. So let's get started. Let's see. I want to resize my form to anyhow I want it, and then what we want to do is I want to pin this toolbar so that I won't be going here to select it again. So when you click here, just pin it down, and then you will see that automatically it will just be on your left hand side of your screen. All right, so we are going for the introduction to the Visual Basic. We want to tackle hello world. When we say hello world means telling someone something. You are speaking to the public. You want to tell someone something in a form of a message, in a form of a notification, right? So how are we going to do this? It's an event. When I say it's an event, something must happen before that message pops up. For example, I will just add a button to my form, and actually you can see that this is my button. I want to rename the text on the button, so I will right click on the button and then go to properties. Now on my properties panel, you will see we have text, and then we have name. The name is not the one to rename, but it's rather the text. The name will be the name for the button, not the text on the button. Please note this very well. The text is what is being written on the button, but for the name is the button's name. So as time goes on, you will get to understand what the name means and why you don't need to change it unless you get to understand it very, very well. So let's rename the text to message me. right? So we want to change it to message me. Now automatically you see that the moment you click on enter, you hit on enter, you see that it will change the name of the text box. Now the name of the button. So let's try to work along with the fonts. You can change the font size, the font style, and then the font the main font as well. So I want to choose the bold and then choose 16, and then it will change it for me. If I want to change the text color, I can go to the 4 color, that is the 4 color, but make sure you are working on the button 1. So for the 4 color, I can choose any color I want, right? You can choose any color you want from the dialog. Yeah, so actually I want red, right? I want red. So this is how it's going to be like. All right, if you want to test your software, how are you going to test your software to see if your button is working very perfect or is working well? Just click on start and then wait a while. You will see that it will pop up your dialog for you. So this is my dialog. When I click on message me, nothing happens because we haven't added any code to it. This is the introduction to the for or to the hello world. So let's get inside the project and start to do some basic coding. So before we get started with the basic coding, I want you to know that you need to understand it before you can do a better coding. Understanding is part of the programming. You need to understand it very well before you can code, because you need to get it to be part of you. It's like asking your dad something, requesting for something. So you are looking up to your dad to just give you what you want. So let's say this software is my dad and I want to get some information from my dad. So I need to get to understand what the code means and how the code will work. Alright, so on the button 1, just double click on it. Double clicking on anything on the designed interface will just direct you to its code. It will just direct you to its code. So let's double click on the button. So I just double click on that, and then you see that automatically just jumped you to the code source. Now you see that we have public class form 1, and then we have private sub button 1 click, sender as object, e as event as handle button 1 click. That means this code, and then we have the end sub and then the end class. This code is for the button, right? So when you double click on the button, the cursor will be blinking here. That means whatever you type here, it will take effect on the button. Again, why do we have the button code inside the public class 4 and then the end class tab? No, you can see that we have the public class and then we have the end class, and then the button code is in between the public class and then the end class. That means the public class and then the end class, it should contain every code you are coding. It's like a container. So whatever code you'll be doing, it will be inside the public class. Let's assume that I want to code outside the public class. So I'm just declaring a statement, right? You see that it will just underline it for me because it is not in between the public class and then the end class. So whatever you type should be in between the public class and then the end class, because it is starting with a public class and then it is ending with a public class. So this code, you can see that it just underlined it for us. You can see that it just underlined it for us. That means it is a wrong statement you just created, or a wrong code you just did. So let's delete that, and then let's go inside the public class, and then let's say dim timer as new timer. Now you can see that it will not underline it for us. We have declared timer as new timer. So I just did this because I want you to know that whatever you are doing, it should be in between the public class and then the end class, because you are starting with the public class and then you are ending with the public class. Alright, so let's go to the button. Now we have the private sub button, one click. So whatever we do here, it will take effect on the click events, because we have events. When we are talking about events, we are talking about what you do to the button. Now these are some events you need to know. These are all events, but as time goes on, we will be getting to know how to work along with the events. But for now, we are using the click event. That is the click event. Alright, so on the private sub button, one click, we want it to tell us something when we click on the button, right? So we will say we want it to give us a message dialogue, right? And then we have so many ways of giving out a message. We have three types of giving out a message. We have the basic coding, the advanced coding, and then the master coding. And then I will be taking you through all these steps as time goes on. So today we will be tackling only two. So let's get started. I will go ahead and then type a message box, because I want it to appear like a message box. So just type message box dot show. Now when I type message box dot show, it will underline it for me because it's a wrong statement. I said a message box should show, but I didn't make a specific, I didn't give the specific message it should tell me, right? So it just underlined it for me that it's a wrong statement. So I need to tell the code what it should tell me. So in between these brackets, just say hello world. Right now when I type hello world, it will pop up this error sign for me. That means hello world is not part of the alright, hello world is not part of the statement I just did. It's a wrong statement because hello world is not declared. So we need to declare it. By declaring it, you need to put it in inverted commas. When you put it in inverted commas, it means you have declared it. So let's put it in inverted commas. Now you can see that it will change the color of the text. Now it will not give you any error. So let's start it and see how best it works. Now we said hello world. Now you can see that automatically it just generated what we wrote here for us. So that is the basic coding. Let's try to change the text inside here. Alright, so let's try to start it again and then see the code. You see that what we wrote here is what appears here. So yeah, this is the basic coding. This is the basic coding. Actually, this is the basic coding. Now let's see the intermediate coding. So you need to get this code somewhere so that you can revise till it gets stuck into your head. So let's see the intermediate coding, right, or the advanced coding. Instead of typing messagebox.show, we won't type messagebox.show. We will just cut everything short. So that will be msgbox. msgbox is the same as messagebox.show. msgbox is the advanced code of messagebox.show, and it's the same way you need to declare the sentence or what you want to tell the public. You need to declare it as a statement. So I will say hello world, and that will work too. Instead of typing messagebox.show, I just did msgbox. Now you can see that it's the same thing, but this time we have introduction to hello world, which is being written as our title bar or as our title. So we will go ahead and then change that. All right, now we have something called message box style, right? We have something called message box style. Message box style is a notification sign. Message box style is a notification sign which help you to explain more to your user. So let's see. When I bring command, then I type ms message box style, that is msg box style. We have information, exclamation, message box help, message box write. There are many, but I will go in for message box information for now. Then let's see how this works. Now you will see that when I click on it, we now have a symbol here which indicates something. The same thing applies if you change the information to other thing. We have the critical, we have the exclamation. So let's choose the critical and let's see how best it works. Now you can see that the critical, it has a different image. So this is very useful and you can use it in your coding as well. So let's see how to create our own title for the message box. So for that one too, we need to declare it as well. So let's call this hello for the heading, right? Let's call it hello for the word, the heading, sorry. So as you can see that we have the heading to be hello. The moment you change it, it will just change. Hi. You can see that it is being changed. So I hope you are really enjoying this. I hope you are. So you need to get this code somewhere as well. So from this point, we will be going for a coffee break, and when we get back again, we will be looking at how to create our first software using Hello World. So let's go for a quick break and we will be right back very soon.